Hey y'all, it's Lippy. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to pull off a video, and I was like, oh, I can do this. Yes, I can, because we're using one pot. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you wouldn't need all of these bowls unless you're making a video like me. You're going to cook, mix, bake, all in the same dish. Whether it has a lid on it or you can cover it with aluminum foil. So this is a one pot start to finish. But I'm going to show y'all the ingredients. And I got a lot of dishes to wash. But that's okay. Y'all are worth it. But we're fixing to throw down some chicken cabbage casserole. Think of a cabbage roll. Think of a deconstructed cabbage roll, where you normally would use pork, ground beef, the cabbage, and so forth. Y'all, have you ever made it with boneless, skinless chicken breast? It's a game changer. So, that's what we're fixing to make, because I don't have time to stand at the stove. No. Grands are here, and this is considered the heat of the day. And we have to remain inside. And I get coffee. They rest. Mama can cook. Life is good between 1 and 3. You know, that heat's dangerous. We're going to start with the star of the show. This is a medium cabbage. Now, you can dice it or you can julienne. I did take the cores and most of the hard pieces out. But that is, I would say, in cup amount, about 3 cups. There is 2 cups of chicken broth, 1.5 pounds of skinless, boneless chicken breast that I've just diced, 1 large sweet onion, a diced green bell pepper, a 29-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Now, you can use fire-roasted tomatoes, but one of the grands don't like the tomato. So, when I make this, I just use crushed. But if it was for someone that enjoyed biting into a tomato, use the fire-roasted. But that's a 29-ounce can. About 1.5 tablespoons of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a cup of rice. Now this is a long grain rice. Your seasoning is your choice, a Cajun seasoning, or I'm using my personal seasoning, swamp mix. That's going to be to taste. We're going to add some Worcestershire, some red pepper flakes, salt, and pepper. So you see all my dishes. Now just think, every bit of this could have been chopped and set on this cutting board. Okay, I'm using a large Dutch oven pot because it has a lid, and I'm making a large batch. Now, I am sitting on a high heat because we're not going to cook this chicken all the way. I've put about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Now, I did spray this enamel with olive oil spray, because with that sugar and the natural sweetness that breaks down in the cabbage, it can stick. Now you see I didn't season my chicken, but we're about to. The one thing we don't want to do is start stirring this right now. It's going to be smoky. Okay, I'm going to lightly season this chicken, because we'll season again in a little bit. That was my Cajun seasoning, swamp mix, and I'm going to hit it with some salt and pepper. Okay, we're getting some good sear marks on here. So now I'm going to start folding in the seasoning. Now remember, you're on a high heat. We want to get some good color on this chicken. Okay, you see we're getting some good color on here. We're getting a little sticky on the bottom. That's what we want, because we're going to let our vegetables clean our pot. Oh, yeah. We're getting some good color on this chicken. Now, you can use ground chicken. You can use ground turkey. But the grandkids, they prefer chicken pieces. So this is a very versatile dish. Okay, I'm going to stop there and dish this chicken up. And we're going to go in with our vegetables. We're going to let these vegetables do their little thing. They'll clean up the bottom of this. Okay, I sauteed them about 2 minutes. Look at there. Now we got some good flavor going on. Now we're going to come in with the garlic. And this is where we're about to dump and go. Alright, I'm going to turn my fire down to about a number 2. And we're going to get some color on this cabbage. Now all I did was rinse my cabbage head whole, peel off 2 layers, and then went to julienning after I took the core out. The worst thing you want to do is add water to your cabbage, because as this starts cooking down, this cabbage is like an iceberg lettuce. It's full of water. You see how it's cooking down? But I dropped it on a number 2 because this is about to go in the oven. Okay, we're going to go back in with our chicken and all of that good drippings. Okay, now it's time to season to taste. I can't go too heavy. We got grandkids. Just a pinch of red pepper flakes. Now, the brown sugar. If you don't like brown sugar, you don't have any, you can use granulated sugar. If y'all could smell this. Do you see how this is really, if you didn't have all the bowls, this is a dump and go. Now I'm going to add a couple of dashes of Worcestershire. If I had to guess, a tablespoon. Now the 29 ounces of tomato sauce. Well, no, this is crushed tomatoes. Like I said, if it wasn't for one of the grands, we would have used the fire roasted tomatoes. And that would have been 2 standard cans. All right, let's give this a good mix. Going in with our 1 cup of raw rice, and this is long grain. Now, if you were using instant rice, use 2 cups. Now, here's our 2 cups of chicken broth. Remember, when you're using raw rice, it's always 1 part rice to 2 parts liquid. And you're saying, well, the crushed tomatoes have liquid in it. Yes, but it will tend to draw in and it will evaporate some as that rice starts swelling. I see 1 large piece of chicken. Now I'm going to turn the stove off. I just wanted to keep some heat to it so it would maintain. Lid on. If you didn't have a lid, wrap it in aluminum foil. I have my oven preheated at 350. This is going to go an hour. Then we're going to stir it, and then we're going to let it go another half hour with a lid on. That way we can ensure that the cabbage is tender and the rice is thoroughly cooked. Now, your rice may be thoroughly cooked at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I know for me, it takes 1.5 hours. But we don't have a lot of rice in here. If you wanted more rice, you could add another ½ cup. So in the oven, see you back in 1.5 hours. But remember, at the hour mark, take the lid off, stir it, put the lid back on. Okay, it's been 1.5 hours. Now, I tasted it. It is amazing. Grandkids think it's a little bit too much tomato, but they're going to eat it, they said. So, I would, because like I said, I did the crushed tomatoes when I usually do the fire roasted. So, you could cut that 29 ounce can down to the 14.5. And that would be just enough of that back tomato without full tomato. Now, I love it, but it is strong tomato. So, now on the side, we're just going to make some hot water cornbread. Some people call it cornbread fritters. It's just hot water cornbread. So I'm going to drop the camera. I've got my oil heating up. This is another dump and go. Fry it. Supper's ready. So you see, supper cooked on its own in the oven. But yes, you can change this recipe and definitely do a half a can if you don't want it full tomato. I'm going to enjoy it. Them, not so much. Okay, I hope you can see. This is just cornbread mix. It's a yellow cornbread. I believe this is Aunt Jemima or something. But this is the cornbread mix. It's already got your leavening, your salt, and all in it. Now, to this, I'm going to add some garlic salt. Not much, just to give it some flavor. You could probably add some onion powder, anything you want. Sometimes I drain some corn, and I'll add corn to this. But this is 1 cup of yellow cornbread mix, not your Jiffy. This is coarse, okay? Jiffy will not work, y'all. All right, we've got some garlic salt in there. And I mean just a hint of sugar. Okay? That's all we've got. Now let's get it blended up. Now, I don't know how much water to tell y'all. Sometimes it takes a cup. Sometimes it only takes a half a cup. It depends on the day. But I'm going to show you the consistency. And this is hot water, but not boiling. I'm thinking it's going to take about 3/4 of a cup. We're going to see. Because I could always add more cornmeal, see. But I'm looking for a certain consistency. Because this hot water will help cook this cornmeal. Okay, it's a little bit too tight. Add a little bit more. This is the easiest thing you can make. All right, let's see. Let it kind of absorb. All right, I'm going to have to add a little bit more cornmeal. It's a little bit too thin, okay? So let me grab my cornmeal. I'll go in with a couple of tablespoons. Oh, yeah. Perfect. That is perfect. Now, let me show you. Can y'all see that? That's what you're looking for. That is perfect. All right, we'll get these frying up. Okay, the one thing you don't want to do is cook them on a high heat. I had my oil on a number 6 to bring it up to temp. Now I've turned it down to a number 4. You want just enough oil to cover the bottom and come up just a hair. And I will show you one. That's going to tell me about my oil. That's perfect. You're just going to kind of lightly mash it down. Now we're only going to flip these once the sides get brown. Now you could do them in less oil if you wanted to. I do them either way, but I'm trying to speed this up. This is almost like a hush puppy. And so by going with a little bit deeper oil, I can get them fried a lot faster. Okay, it's taste test time. Let me show y'all. It's almost like a hush puppy. Ooh, that's warm. And I'm going to drop the camera and I'm going to show you my plate. Because Mama's got to eat. I got a lot more work to do. And here is my plate. This is just a simple, delicious meal. Okay, here we go. It's not too hot because it's been sitting here just a minute while the hot water cornbread cooked. Y'all, I love this. But like I said, if y'all don't, don't like a heavy tomato, cut it down. Me personally, this is spot on. This reminds me of my cabbage rolls that I make with that tomato base. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, we're gonna sample this. Look, cooked through and through. No gummy. Oh, but it's hot. Here we go. It's the crunch, it's the texture. It's a little bit salty. The sweetness does not come through, but it does, it adds something, y'all. That's just heaven right there. Now, you could add some grated onion. You could add cheese. Drain some corn. It's endless. As long as you know that the consistency is right, then come in and add any flavor you want to this hot water cornbread. But make sure your water is very hot. Just not at that boil state. So, I'm going to eat. I had to get something to drink. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to upload this video. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. See you on the next one.